What's up, guys? Buckle up because you're about to enjoy an excellent Snaps game preview where we tell you everything you need to know about this weekend's game and probably some stuff that you didn't. Enjoy. Little Clemson against Big Bad Texas. And I got to be honest, Aaron, sometimes you know how the heart wants what it wants, and you don't exactly know how you got there.
I feel like you want both these teams to lose somehow.
No, the troll in me, that's what I'm saying. The troll in me, I'm kind of falling for Clemson. I want Clemson to win the national championship.
Oh, wow.
That's what a sick fuck I am.
You want fucking Dabo to just never go to the portal ever.
Hey, he's going to the portal. You already seen he's got commits out of the portal so far.
Oh, little boy.
But like we've all been shit on Dabo, myself included. He's already insufferable, even when things are going poorly. He would reach heretofore unseen levels of insufferability if he were to win the Natty. Like he said, man, hey, we were the first ever 15-0 national champ. Why can't we be the first ever 9-3? Like, I agree. Oh, Lil O Dabo, who thinks everybody's always out to shit on him. Also, look, Texas, I've given you your roses. I took my L's from you. I ate my crow. But you motherfuckers better not let Clemson win this game. Because if you do, you ain't ever going to hear the end of it from me or the rest of the country. Like, Texas may be the one school that could cause people, the general public, to cheer for Clemson in this game.
If Texas loses this damn game, I will be shocked. I will tell you one thing that I was not thinking would happen this season would be that Clemson has a better quarterback in this game right now. Cade Klubnik has had a terrific season.
Great point.
A terrific season. 33 passing touchdowns, only 5 picks, 40 total touchdowns for Cade Klubnik. Like, he has done a complete 180 from that first game against Georgia because he watched my breakdown. He made the corrections, and he's been tremendous since then. RIP.
We'd be at 30K if ESPN would let us do those damn breakdowns.
50K if we had to do those damn breakdowns. But anyways,
subscribe.
Texas's only bugaboo this year is just Georgia. It's what Alabama is to Georgia. Georgia is to Texas, and I think Texas.
Okay, but hold on. Can we explore that for a second? How is that not entirely true? I mean, I know I gave them credit for this game, but Arkansas played them very well, right?
Doesn't mean teams can't play them well. I'm just saying, like, they
Vanderbilt played them, but I'm saying, but Clemson's better than Arkansas. Clemson's better than Vanderbilt. Like
Ewers played, but Ewers played well in those games. I think to me the big thing is we know Texas's defense is elite. The only team that has given Ewers difficulty wasn't Michigan, it wasn't Vanderbilt, it wasn't Arkansas. He had good games in those games. I thought he played really well versus A&M. Ewers has a Georgia problem, so maybe it's not a Texas thing. Quinn Ewers has a Georgia problem. Every other game that he's played in, he has played well. Oklahoma was a little shaky early in the first quarter, but that's when he's come back from injury. Played, I thought, fine the rest of the game. So for him, it's like, hey, I'm not going against Georgia's defense. I think Quinn has a good game. I think the defense is elite. I think Clemson still lacks explosiveness on the outside. So, like, I am not worried that Texas is going to lose this game.
I mean, it is kind of interesting, though. It's a 10-3 team against an 11-2 team. Now, definitely, I mean, Clemson's losses can be thrown in their face and should be thrown in their face.
Yes. They got bullied by Louisville. I mean, absolutely.
That's the bad one, and that was at home.
Yes.
And but isn't that so bad, Aaron, as to be head scratching? Like, it's an outlier. It's like Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois, isn't it? Like, it's not actually representative of Clemson every other week of the season. Like, losing to South Carolina when they did, there's actually no shame in that. Losing to Georgia week one, there's no shame in that.
It's a good loss.
Louisville's the bad loss, and even that was it. Again, it's just nowhere else on the schedule do they look like that team.
I mean, they got smacked by Georgia in that first game. I mean, that was so long ago.
Just like, you know what? In the opposite way, that Quinn Ewers at Michigan ain't the Quinn Ewers that we see now. I don't know. I don't
disagree. I think Quinn, once again, I believe Quinn plays significantly better when he's not looking across and seeing the Georgia defense. This is not the same Clemson defense that we've gotten used to watching either. So,
I think that is true. I think I have a little bit of that, like, your mind takes a long time to change, where I think of Clemson and I still think like elite defensive line.
I think the defense is good, and I think they got dudes. This is not the defense that you and I are accustomed to seeing. They do not have those guys on that side.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they have the killer instinct either. I mean, you're up for South Carolina at home. You allow them to march down the field and score and win the football game. You're up big against SMU, and hell, you almost gave that game away too. You had to kick a 50-something yard field goal to win it. When you're up by, what do we say? They're up 24-7 at halftime. It's like, I don't think Clemson has killers. I think Klubnik has been terrific, but Texas's defense is good enough to say, hey, it's a one-man band, essentially. We slow Klubnik down, we're going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, for Texas, we got to go back to our original theme, right? Home field advantage, defense, running.
As long as Quinn doesn't fuck up, which he only fucks up against Georgia, they're going to win the game. And I don't think Sark is going to put the ball in his hands enough for him to screw up.
Well, exactly right. That's what home field advantage, defense, running the ball.
Yes.
Why did it go south for Quinn in both Georgia games? They could not get Wisner going. They could not run the ball.
Yep.
It's like we said, Kirby, like Belichick, like Cignetti, like I'm doing that. They take away your best thing. To your point, Aaron, Clemson's rush defense has been god awful this year. 4.5 yards a carry, which is just really bad. 150 yards a game. That ranks 14th in the ACC. And that's against a relatively weak running conference. Well, I shouldn't say weak running conference, but that's against a relatively weak schedule. Like,
I don't care what.
That is why Quinn will look okay here or play well here, because he will have a great rushing attack. They'll exploit Wisner. They'll really lean on Wisner, I think, like they've wanted to here at the kind of final run. And then Texas defense, as good as Clemson's offense is, and I think they'll have success. Texas defense is good enough at the end of the game to stop them for the most part.
Like, there's a reason why of the 3 games, this is the highest spread in Vegas's mind. This is every other game is between it's Indiana, Notre Dame 7, Tennessee, Ohio State 7, SMU, Penn State's 8.5. This is 11.5. I think they know, like, the path for Clemson to score touchdowns is going to be Cade has to play great, which he's played well this year. He has to be elite, not just throwing the football, but running the football as well. And I think that's just a lot to ask on the road against what I still believe is the best defense in college football.
Tommy Doak says the pressure's on Texas, though. Clemson is on house money. What other games has Texas had the pressure?
Georgia in SEC championship game.
Yeah, and they lost both, but it's a much better. Georgia's better than Clemson.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm a bit interested to see how Texas performs under the pressure. Right? I mean, last year's playoff, they lost to a Washington team that they were supposed to beat, but they have big wins. I mean, they went in Alabama. Into Michigan, I guess.
I just think Quinn
really handled A&M at the end of the year, which A&M's very flawed, but the way that they just like strangled that game out. I'm speaking in terms of the ability to handle pressure, to go into College Station, SEC championship berth on the line, and just really just like strangle that game, control the. Yeah, I think Texas can handle the pressure. Sorry, I was working through that question live. I think Texas can handle the pressure. Yeah.
I mean, if you go through Quinn's season too, it's not. I think we get caught up into we including myself projected Quinn to have this incredible season, Heisman-like season, contending for maybe the top quarterback in college football, and he obviously did not reach that and played really bad in big time games. But I thought he's played well in other games, the majority of games this season. So I anticipate getting the best of Quinn with Wisner running the football. Quinn's going to go 21 of 30 for 220 and 2 touchdowns and called it. I
mean, it's like you say that, Aaron, but like you wouldn't really be singing anybody's praises with Quinn's raw numbers. They're 7.6 yards per attempt, which is not impressive.
Yeah, 25 touchdowns though.
25 is not bad to 9 picks though. That's basically like 2-1, which granted they're up, like we said, they're up in the league right now. But again, the 7.6 yards per carry, he's a check down assassin.
Yeah. I'm a little shocked though with Texas's weapons. The the lack of big plays that we saw early on in the season. I feel like early in the season you saw explosive plays. You saw some explosive plays versus Georgia. I mean, you harped on that. Like a lot of empty yards.
That's the only thing you had success with, actually.
Yeah, they had explosive plays. They couldn't figure out how to run the ball from there. So I think if you get those explosives and then run it on top of that against a defense that's not stopping the run, I think Texas runs away with it. I think they cover.
You want to hear the wildest shit you'll ever hear about quarterback ratings in the SEC? Peyton Thorne. Who would have had this for the year? Peyton Thorne, higher rated than Quinn Ewers and Carson Beck.
Ooh.
He has a 150 QB rating to 148 for Ewers and 145 for Beck. Wild.
I'm with me on the chat. This is what I told you last week. Like, and I know you're like wasted yard. Like, they felt like they were dominating the game in the first half. To me,
what I'm saying though, what I still am maintaining is that I see how y'all arrived there, but it was not as bad as the numbers looked because they were never having play-to-play success. They were getting off these big plays at a higher clip than I would have thought. But
yeah, it was a lot of them though.
But when it came to fucking nut cutting time, could they ever assert themselves and make the play that had to be made?
I still win the halftime feeling that, oh my God, I feel like the floodgates are going to open for Texas compared to Georgia.
No, but even we were texting at halftime. We said, me and you both talking about how like this is one of those games where, okay, you survive the flurry. You're lucky that it's 6-3, but now it's almost like the momentum.
But once again, you use the word lucky. You're very lucky that it's 6-3.
But then the momentum, but those games have a way of playing out where the momentum flips then.
Or they start figuring out the way to actually punch it in.
Not if it's two good teams. I don't know. Because like, think about the law of averages.
Georgia had really bad moments throughout the season where you didn't.
I don't want to make this into. I do not want to make this into a Georgia segment. But think about like the law of averages, right? If you see a guy throw for 300 in the first half, is your mindset he's going to throw for 300 again?
No, God, no.
Exactly. That was kind of like Texas in that game. It was like the gap was so wide, like you knew it had to rubber band a bit back more even. I think Texas will be able to assert themselves in Clemson's in ways they could not. I think Texas wins. I would not take Texas to cover here, though. What's the spread?
11.5. I would take Texas to cover. Do you think Arch plays more in this game? Do you think that this is the beginning of we have to find Arch more PT in the playoffs?
I don't, but I would cede to you, and I would cede to Colt McCoy. And, I think people who know better that have said
I could see it being like A&M where you use him in situational football, red zone, third downs, places that you
I guess it is what cost you against Georgia, right? So
yeah. I mean, why not? It's not like he's not like he can't throw the football.
Okay, so what's the spread here?
11.5. I have Texas
winning, not covering.
I have Texas winning and covering.
Oh, well, I'd say that was informative and fun. If you agree, please hit the like button, sub, and we'll see you next time for some more snaps.